Welcome to Why They Play the Game, a show created to discuss the NBA on and off the court. I'm just one of your co-hosts, Michael Eric Owens.
And I'm Ken Hayes.
Hey, my brother, how you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Man, well, I'm in Oklahoma. We didn't have these storms down here, so
Man,
just trying to survive, brothers, trying to
I hear you.
survive, man.
I
But
hear
we
you.
got the excitement going down here too with the Thunder. And so, man, let's talk a little bit, Ken, first of all, about your observations. Let's start with that Thunder series. And, folks,
Okay.
while Ken getting his thoughts together, as always, we want you to go ahead and hit that like, that subscribe button. Keep those comments coming
Right.
in. Hit that notification so you can get this content right away and the answers to your questions or replies to your statements. Definitely keep them coming. So, Ken, what do you think?
Man, Mike, so right now, OKC up 2-1. Minnesota came home, got some home cooking, shot well. My thing, I'll say this right off the bat. If Minnesota doesn't become more physical in this series, they might as well pack their bags up right now.
Who is that? Oklahoma City?
No, if Minnesota doesn't become more
Oh,
physical
doesn't
with,
come. Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I
They,
got you.
they might as well just pack up, Mike. I know Anthony Edwards shot well, came out. They came out smoking,
Mm-hmm.
came out with some intensity, got to sleep in their own bed. So they got to keep that same intensity up. I'll say this also. If if Jalen Williams doesn't come to play,
Mm-hmm.
this series may go 7 games, and then Minnesota may come out winning the series. Jalen is too up and down for me right about now. I'll say he's going to be the Robin of this team, and he
Mm-hmm.
needs to come out and play. Um, the other thing, Mike, Chet Holmgren averaging about 15 and some change. Mike, you got to get him down low. He what, 7 foot?
Yeah, he like seven. I think Chet is
Se-
seven
se-
three.
What, 7 plus? Mike, come give him. I mean, take him down low. Sometimes, what it's going to do for me, as far as that's concerned, is get Minnesota in foul trouble, get some easy buckets. I mean, it's not like he can't go down low. I mean, yeah, you want to shoot the threes, but bang a little bit. Um, and on the other side, Minnesota, Mike, I'll say this: I think they need to make a lineup change. I think DiVincenzo needs to start and put Conley on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, the first couple of games, man, I thought, again, we've been saying this about Minnesota all year long. Like, which team is going to show up? You know what I mean? Like, you see Minnesota sometime and you like, what's up with Minnesota? And then you see them like, dude, like
Right.
they look unbeatable. You know what I mean? And I think those first two games, Nas Reed didn't show up.
Nope. That
Alexander
was good.
Walker didn't show up. And when you look at Julius struggled in game two.
Had a
So
bad game.
and when you look at how they've been playing Ant as well, I mean, he's been having to work. Dork's making him work. SGA is making him work, and
Ah,
he finally started to stop selling for threes.
okay.
He started going to the hole. He started putting pressure on the defense, and the others started to get going at home. Now, I always thought this was going to be a 7-game series. I mean, they beat them by 41 points. Ken,
Like they got the brakes beat off of them.
come on, man, listen, basketball players. Let me just say this to basketball play. I don't care if you in elementary school playing basketball. Man, you don't get embarrassed on the court. You a 40 can. I was like, hold on, man. Hold. You have to have more, I want to say, pride in your game. yes, you may beat me. We didn't rock you a couple of games. We come home, you may beat me, but you're not gonna stomp me. And what Oklahoma City got was just a straight up stomping. I mean, they got embarrassed, man. You're the best team in the league.
Best record.
And I'm not saying and again, I felt Minnesota was going to win game 3 because I just think you can't put NBA players like that backs against the wall and you're going to get their best punch. I don't care. I don't care who would you could be down. Listen, you could have the Washington Wizards and you could be up 2-0 and you go back to Washington in the playoff. You are getting their best game. Why, Ken? Because we know you about to go fishing. So
Right.
you getting their best game. So what we got from Minnesota was what they should have delivered: desperation, they delivered urgency, and they came out, man, and they just punched him in the throat, and it was like the rope a dope. It was like Ali was moving around on him, just talking to him, man. You know what I mean? Like, what round you want to go down in? I'm gonna give you the choice, man. It was embarrassing, Ken, and they're a young team. So number one, my concern is how do you bounce back from that? You're a young team. You're not a veteran team. Veteran teams, they can get slapped around, they can come back because they know, yeah, we can deal with this. No, 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 no. You're a young team. Some of them are in the playoffs for the first time experiencing this. Everything seems to be going well at home. You get on the road and you get whomped. So how do these young players respond if they come out again and get embarrassed? Because I'm gonna tell you, uh, the Thunder better show up. They got to show up, man, because Minnesota is you about to get that was round one. You about to get round two, and round two is gonna be the same way. So how does the Oklahoma City Thunder respond? That is the question. Because Ken, if they go back 2-2,
Mm.
and this if you want to make
That's
life
two out of
easy for
three.
you, I know if you want to make life easy for yourself, you need to get one on the road and you need to get one tonight. So, Ken, how you think they're gonna respond?
I think they'll respond better than they did on Saturday night. But I think the thing that they need to do is take some pressure off of Shea. They have to, Mike, because they Minnesota trying to wear him down. And to think about it, Mike, and if I was coaching Minnesota, I would go after Shea.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, I can't say he's the greatest defensive player out there, but I would go after him, and make him work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's
I
just
think he
say,
had 5 fouls the last game, though. I think they put him in the spin cycle a couple of times.
yeah, and
And
that's what they're gonna have to
exactly,
do.
yeah, yeah. Get him on those mixed matches with Julius Randle.
Randall, right?
Get
And
get yeah, definitely.
and I don't know if Randall, maybe he had the New York Knicks jersey on game 2 because he played like he was in New York.
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah,
know, and
yeah,
and he
yeah.
came back. But OKC needs a team effort. Can't just
Hmm.
be Shea. If you want to wear him out, go right ahead. But it has to be a team effort. The thing that just um, kind of bothers me with OKC, they're looking like this, like Shea, what you gonna do?
Well, Ken, you know why that is though. It is because Shea. See, this is the evolution of um, let's say Shea's game. Shea is going to have to be more of a playmaker than score. Because Shea right now just an assassin.
Yeah, they're all
Oh yeah, he going to get a bucket, right? You're gonna foul him. But he has to, because in those first 2 games, he became more of a facilitator than he has been all season long, and you see the result of that. He's not going to get them in. He's not going to get a victory by going out there trying to beat him himself. And I think, Ken, to your point, where you got Jay Will, right? Where you got where um, there's like a 1-2 combination, but they not 1-2 like that.
no, they're not.
They not 1-2 like that. That's not Dame and Giannis or KD and Booker. No. Jay
Right.
Will is not that assassin. Now he can ball. He young. He can ball, but he not that dude. He's not going to galvanize that much attention, and that's the problem. They don't have another player that can galvanize. Like, we cannot leave this dude open. They don't
Right.
have that. They got one dude, right? And it's amazing that the Thunder have been able to be as successful as they have, basically with one superstar on their team, right? And it's because of the defense that they play. And that's what failed them in game 3. I
Oh,
mean, Minnesota
definitely.
was getting so many wide open shots, man. I think they had 50 rebounds, man. It was, and when you look at the 3-point shooting difference, man, the Thunder shot terrible from the 3, and Minnesota shot well from the 3. So we can look at the numbers and say, yeah, these are the reasons why. But I think, again, my concern has always been with the Thunder, and folks, y'all know my hat
Mm.
is always Bucks, but number 2 is always the Oklahoma City Thunder, because I live here, just like the Badgers. Number 1, number 2 is OU, number 3 is
Mm.
OSU. So, I represent, I support. But Ken, unless this is a difference, man, because if they win the championship, we gonna sit back and go, really, when we look at the Eastern Conference, and we're gonna get there in a moment, we look at the Western Conference, we have the least amount of, as we could say, box office stars, Ken, and also superstars. Like, we're gonna have you might have a championship that's got OKC
Mm.
against Indiana.
Yeah.
And you say, where's the top 75 player in that? You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you probably might have a couple of top 100 players. You might. I mean, Ant's gonna be there, SGA's gonna be there.
That's about it.
But I'm saying, so man, it's real, man. It's just weird, man, when you look at the lack of and again, these are NBA players. They're good players,
Oh,
all of them.
right.
I don't care, from the dude that don't even play. If he come
Mm.
to the Boys and
The
Girls
street
Club,
clothes.
he go he gonna eat you up, right?
Right.
These are NBA players, so I'm not knocking them. I'm saying is the lack of star power is saying something, Ken, in this championship. And we see injuries have played a big role in preventing certain teams from getting there. Um, but Ken, do you still feel that the Thunder will pull out this
I think
series?
they won this series. I think the I'm gonna say this. Don't I won't say the only way that Minnesota can win it is that I think Ant has to start to, let's just say, take it to OKC. And I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times he will bail them out shooting the three. If it's on, it's on. If it's off, it's off.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to do more than that, Mike. I mean, yeah, I get it. The three is a prominent shot, in the NBA. But sometimes you just got to take it to the hole and get other people involved. And that's, I mean, in game 3, I saw some of that,
Mm-hmm.
but I need to see a lot more.
Yeah, he did a lot of drive and kick. He went to the hole. I mean, Anthony Edwards is one of the few guys in the league that still has that skill set. There's not many. I
No,
mean,
it's
we're
not.
talking to, the Kyrie Irvings, the Giannis's, the Dames, you're talking about cats that, um, that are not just 3-point shooting. And he led the league in 3-pointers made. I mean, he
Right.
made more than Curry. So that tells you he put them up. Curry going to the hole more than him, which is a problem. And I agree, because he has the size, the athleticism, the creativity to go inside and score and get the old fashioned traditional 3-pointer. So I still feel like but I still think it's gonna go 7 though.
But
I still think it's gonna 7.
the other thing that I'm gonna say, Mike, and I'll finish this off, is that Minnesota has to push the ball more and
Mm-hmm.
not coming up the court and trying to form the offense around. And I think they need to push the ball a lot more so they can, so OKC can't set up their defense.
Yeah, that transition is huge, and we saw the difference in Game 3 when they were able to get out. And why? Because they out rebounded them.
Oh yeah,
And OKC was doing what, Ken? Taking the ball out the basket.
that's
When you
right.
take the ball out the basket, unless you Indiana, Indiana play like
Right.
a
The
college team,
Lakers.
right? You know what I mean? Like the old Lakers, right? You
Right.
take it out, Magic throwing it, right? But I agree. And what hurts OKC is half court offense. They can move the ball, but they get bogged down because they don't have enough players that are creative enough and that are a threat enough to make the defense collapse. In the times that we see OKC in transition, man, that's when they're dangerous. They're
Oh,
dangerous in transition when Shea is coming downhill or guys are spreading to the corners and to the elbow in transition. They are very dangerous. So I think yes, pace plays a very very important part in this. I just think if I was Mark Daganoff, I would be like, we are seeking out mismatches. I'm gonna get Rudy Gobert on Shea. Okay, I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
I'm looking for all, because to me they're too big. They're too big. That's part of the problem, is that they're, and what I mean by too big, they have two bigs that play in the paint.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, they're not Lopez too big, like Lopez on the perimeter. No, they're in the paint. Chet don't do that. And Ken, you said earlier about him. Ken, he ain't got no backup game. He ain't got no foot game. Ken, he gonna shoot that three. He gonna put it on the floor. He needs to face the basket. Too many big guys. That's an art that is, if you see a big guy that's got a game like that, Ken, that's rare. Most of these guys want to be out there shooting threes. They
Uh,
want to face the basket, and Chet is no different. So he's never going to be a low post banger. That's just
oh
not
no,
what he's
he
going to do.
not. No, that's not
Um,
his thing. But he need Mike.
and
You
that's
get
a
some
problem for them.
right, but sometimes as a player and as a coach, you got to find other ways to score and get the other team. Let's just say Minnesota in foul trouble, or do something to change it up. I mean, you said, I'm gonna say 7-2, and you shooting threes every time. Come
Man,
on, man,
listen,
develop your game. But anyway, we'll move
what
on.
what we have seen in the NBA is that the first quarter is crucial.
Oh yeah,
Okay, in the modern NBA game, the fourth quarter, I mean, the first quarter is crucial. So we see these teams come in and they have slow starts, they play terrible, and they're trying to catch up the whole game. And we see some teams catch up when they can hit threes. But when you can't hit threes, like when the Thunder was off, the game was over in the first quarter. It was over
yeah,
because they
yeah.
couldn't hit threes. And for some reason, I guess they rather try a three and miss than try two. I just, you rather, and I
Easy
understand that,
too.
you know, I just don't understand, man. Like, you go down and you miss a few threes. You would think you would run a set, man, so that you could get to the basket or something, man. You see these teams just jacking up, jacking up threes, man. And you look at the numbers, Ken, in that game, when we talk about 3-pointers, Oklahoma City was 14 for 44. Okay. And Minnesota was 20 for 40.
So
So,
OKC was doing the Boston, huh?
oh yeah, they were doing the Boston, man. You look at the points in the paint. Minnesota had 56 to 42, and you look at total rebounds. Minnesota had 50 to 31, 19 more rebounds. That's killer. That's
But
killer, man.
like, let me say this. I'm gonna go back to Chet again. Is that I would I would at least run this play once in each quarter. Is that to get him screened down so he can go to the basket and alley oop? You
Yeah.
get
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but uh, man, come on, they just. But
So
anyway,
so so what do you think about tonight's game? What is your
I
thoughts on
think Minnesota's gonna win tonight's game.
it?
Home cooking.
I think the Thunder will play better. I
Oh
think
yeah.
they will have a respectable game, but I just think again, we have seen Minnesota start playing good. That's the danger, right? And they started off like that in the Golden State series. You know, they started off. You was like, man, is Minnesota gonna get knocked out by Golden State? And then all of a sudden,
They turn it
here we
on.
go. We decide to play. I don't know what it is, man, but um, if Minnesota continues to play like they play, and that's a big if, because we know what they can be on the other flip side of it. But if they continue to play like this, it's gonna be it's gonna be who got the ball last in the 7 game series. But again, we have to see, because all of this territory for the Thunder and a lot of their players, this is their first go round, man. So shout out to both teams. The game was embarrassing. So I that's why I put on my NBA hat, started to wear my Thunder hat, but I thought,
Nah.
I can't do that today. You got to come back, give me a little bit more before I put you on my crown. You know what I mean? But Ken, let's move to the Eastern Conference. So, man, Ken,
New
are
York.
you shocked that New York dropped 2 games in the Garden, favored in both games, and just tricked it out? So, what were your thoughts, man, on that series?
Game
Because
one.
I'm gonna say like this: it's over. But go
You
ahead.
think it's over?
Oh, it's
Oh
over.
my.
It's over, Ken. It's over.
Mike, game one, they just collapsed in the fourth quarter and they gave that game away. And they were up by 14 and late into the fourth quarter.
Yep. Yep.
They just, man, they looking around who's going to take the shot. We're going to rely on Brunson to do everything. Game two, they just got outworked.
Mm-hmm.
And then last night, um, they down by 20
It
at
was
one
almost,
time.
yeah, it was almost 3-0. Keep it
Right.
real.
And I thought it was I won't say a great thing, a good thing for them that I think they went on a 5-0 run right before halftime to
Okay.
kind of, give
Mm-hmm.
them some confidence that they can get back in this game. Mike, I'm going to say this, and I've been known to be critical of the refs. That was one of the worst
Mm-hmm.
games that I saw as far as refereeing is concerned. Especially the call that Brunson got called the foul on when I think it was Neesmith.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think I could be wrong who it was, but that was a charge.
Yeah.
But let me move on from that. Man, where should I start? Let me start on Indiana side. Indiana had a chance to go up 3-0 last night. Didn't pull it off. I think they got away. Siakam is killing New York.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging almost 25 a game. Mike, I would be looking for him every time I came down the court because he is just going to work.
Yeah, the
The
mismatches. Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. The other thing, TJ McConnell, he needs to get more playing time because
Mm-hmm.
when he comes in, he's scoring
Energizer
inside the
Bunny.
paint. Yeah, exactly. Um, New York needs some help, and I think Bridges from the first 3 games he's played. I would say admirably. Nobi played. I think he's averaging about 16.
Getting cooked though.
He is.
You know,
But
him and Siakam were teammates. So it's one of those things where I cook you in practice all the time, bro. What you on me for? That's why Siakam's got so much confidence, because Anunoby is
Nobi
on
is on.
him, and he cooked him in
Right.
Toronto every day in practice.
Yeah. But I give it to him. He hasn't really backed down as far as taking that challenge. I give him that. His confidence hasn't been shaken. I put it that way.
For the money he getting paid, I need more from Anunoby.
Right.
I'm
I
gonna be
agree
honest
too.
with you, because he getting paid as star money. So I'm saying, nah, bro, 16 ain't good enough for me. You need to be, especially on a New York team where really when you look at the scoring, you got Brunson and
Cat
you got Cat, right?
and
But
Bridges.
Cat is can be consistent, inconsistent. So there is more opportunities, man, for Anunoby to get busy. I just don't think he's aggressive enough offensively. I think he takes some shots. I think he tries to play off of those two guys like
Oh
he's in
yeah,
that.
definitely.
He need to get more busy, man, especially when Brunson or Cat is on the bench. That's the type of money he's getting paid, folks. He's getting that type of star money. He needs to be getting busy. And he's not. I think that's a major problem. Hart, I can.
They benched him.
You know, Hart, I mean, I always like Josh Hart, man, because he's always willing to do what nobody else is willing to do. He's willing to
He,
dive.
yeah,
He's willing to go for them boards. He's willing to defend
them hustle plays.
them hustle plays, man. So you can always, but he benched him. He came in. I think he finished the game. They did well. They came back, like you say, and won the game. But Ken, listen, you get smacked. You get smacked twice at home. You go on the road. You down by 20,
20.
and you come back. And in my opinion, Indiana just took the foot off the gas pedal.
They did.
Okay. And you got back in the series, hopefully. But I think the next game, Indiana did that the last series, though, against the Bucks. They did the same thing. They dropped game 3. So what I'm saying is it's like that sort of, you know, uh
Mentality
yeah,
where I got it going on, so I ain't gonna work as hard.
I just don't think I just don't think a lot of these guys have that championship medal, man. That I'm not satisfied with just beating you. I want to sweep you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, I don't want you to win nothing. They don't have that. Okay, we up 2. Okay, we lost 1. We just got to go. No, I don't think nobody punching walls or kicking stuff in. They just don't have that same mentality, Ken. And really, I think game 4, man, New York getting blowed out, Ken.
You,
Oh yeah, they're gonna
okay.
get blown out, man. They're gonna go back to New York, and New York it's probably gonna be 4-1. I don't think New York's gonna win another game, to be honest with you. I don't think they'll win another game because the Pacers already showed we can come in your gym and beat you. You can be up by 13, 15, it don't matter. As long as we going into the fourth quarter, what's on your mind is the same thing on our mind. We coming. So the thing is, I think mentally, Indiana's got them, bro. And I can't stand Indiana. You know
Somebody I
that.
know.
I'm gonna be
Right.
honest with you. I can't stand Indiana. I couldn't stand Indiana when Reggie Miller was there. So I'm just gonna keep it real, right?
I
Nah,
got you.
man.
But
So
Mike,
but
I,
I gotta give them their respect though.
yeah, I think I'll say this: they move the ball well. They play team basketball, and they don't care who's the leading scorer, who has the most points. They just want to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and you don't see that from a lot of other teams in the NBA, unfortunately. But they just, they want to win, and who's the leading scorer? They're like, okay, let's move on.
Because they ain't got no superstars, gang.
No, they don't.
They
They
don't
don't.
have attitudes like that. They not walking in like Naismith ain't looking at Halliburton like he better than him. You know what I'm saying? Halliburton ain't looking at him like he better than him because they realize at the end of the day, bro, they all really on the same level. And so, yes, the unselfishness. I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due. And listen, when you produce and you
Oh,
win, even though
that's
you
all that
got
counts.
haters, your haters have to say, they're a good team. They
Can't tell
handling
like
they
that to
bit,
you, right?
and you have to give that. Man, I give respect to folks that win. I might not. Listen. I hate them, but I give them respect. I give them. I'm never. They never gonna lose respect from me. If you win, I will give you respect because you earned it. And in my opinion, Indiana's playing like you said, King, team basketball. They haven't even, they're not known as a defensive team, but they have, really dialed in on the defensive end. And I think it's over. I think New York's going home, and Indiana, and I would like to say Indiana OKC in the championship, and and you know who I'm going with.
Mike, I'm not gonna say push back, but I'm gonna give you a different view. I think New York is gonna win game 4.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. If New York wins this series, it'll be the first time in history that in a conference final that someone has come back from two down. In the first that has lost the first two games. Yeah, they have lost two games on the
Uh,
road,
oh,
but not at
okay,
home.
gotcha. All right, okay.
Okay, so we'll see if they make history and come back and win. But yeah, you losing the first two games at home,
Yeah,
man.
that was
That's we understand the split. Okay, you
right.
say yeah,
Exactly.
but man, when you lose two games at home, man, you giving the other team they have all the leverage, man. And the only way to really take that back, like you say, Ken, they got to come in. But I still think New York has not showed Indiana we are the better team. I
No,
don't
they
think,
haven't.
yeah. And until you knock their confidence, and the thing about it, Ken, that is, man, they didn't win one. They went into Madison Square Garden
They was going crazy.
and handled their business, man. And I was like, nah, you ain't. Come on, man. You supposed to protect the crib, especially the Garden.
But
Come
Mike,
on, man. You know how many famous games been played there. You got home court advantage, and you come in and get, bruh. Nah,
Mike,
man. That
Mike,
got hurt.
they better set up a Willis Reed situation or something.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. Who coming out the tunnel? Because y'all need help, man. Because I'm like, you don't. And the way the last game went, Ken, as you pointed out, Indiana like had the game basically.
They,
And so you don't walk away from that game going, oh man, they the better team. No, you walk away from that game looking at yourself in the mirror and say, we have to do better. We would have won that game like that. New York ain't walking away saying we the better team because they had to struggle to get back in the game. So they don't even have the confidence, Ken, at this level or this time in the series to go, yes, we can definitely defeat this team. No, they're still fighting a uphill battle, and their questions are not answered. Indiana questions are answered. Can we win in New York? Yes.
yeah,
Can we win at home? We know we can win at home. So I just think, oh, man, I can't.
Mike, let me say this real quick: is that New York? They know they're not the better team.
They
It's
were
just,
favored though.
yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, right, because everybody wants New York to be
Yeah, they do.
in the final. So yeah, they can be favored all they
Yeah,
want
they
to,
do.
but Indiana's the better team. I
Yeah.
mean, let's just hypothetically, let's just say
Mhm.
New York wins the rest of the games and they win the series.
Mhm.
Indiana is still the better team.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I think talent wise, you could say that the way they play, you could say that. And I think it's a bad matchup. I think it's a bad matchup because Indiana has too much quickness. They get up and down the court too quick. They shoot, man, within the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. They don't want to get in long sets. New York is a half
yeah,
court team.
right,
You know what I'm saying? With Brunson out there soloing, you know what I'm saying, trying to get to it's just they're like night and day as teams,
oh
man.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And I think Indiana's just imposing their will on them. And I thought New York was gonna handle them, Ken. I thought New York was gonna control the pace. New York has always been known as a tough nosed defense, physical team. I thought all that physicality would help. Cats out there shooting threes,
man,
no post up game, no punishment going to the hole, put no pressure on the defense whatsoever other than Brunson. And Brunson has been doing his thing. I gotta give him that. He out
yeah,
there shaking and baking and bouncing and falling on the floor and hit, man. He hit big shots.
right.
And Bridges has been playing well too. I'm gonna give Bridges that. I just think again, if they want to win this series, either Cat or Ananobi is going to have to step up big, Ken. Somebody else is going to have to be an offensive threat for them. The Bucks ran into the same thing. You remove Damian Lillard. Yes, you can give Giannis can get a triple double and take
Right,
that L because unless you got Gary Trent And we know what Gary Trent did. He showed up big time, right? In that game they
Yes, sir.
won. You're gonna New York is gonna have to do that because they just don't have the personnel to compete with a team that, as you say, Ken, they don't care who score. All of them.
But look in the Cleveland series, Indiana did. I mean, they did the same thing to
Same
Cleveland.
thing. Same thing.
So
Same thing. Same thing, bro. So you still got New York?
to win the series?
Yeah.
Oh no, man! Indiana. If Indiana doesn't win this series, something wrong with them, or something
Yeah.
wrong with the coach. Something. Nah,
Yeah. I think
and they up 2-1.
yeah,
Man,
they
come
up
on.
2-1, man. So in another home game, I don't see them losing 2 in a row at home. I just don't see it. I think it goes back to New York 3-1. I think the pressure is so much on New York, and the teams are so closely. I would say no team is, although Indiana is better, Indiana is not a superior team.
All
And
right.
so with that type of pressure going back to the Garden, I think Indiana beats them, man. I think it's over. Just my opinion, Ken. I think it is over. I think the Pacers are going to make it back or make it to the NBA Finals, and they probably going to face the Oklahoma City Thunder and get stoned.
Okay.
Okay, get stoned. Huh? Oh
Uh,
yeah. About that time, we're gonna have all the experience we need as we go through
okay.
Minnesota. We're gonna be a veteran team then,
Oh,
Ken.
well, at that time.
At that time. For sure, man. All
Oh
right, Ken.
man.
Last word, man. Last word.
So, Mike, today is Memorial Day, so we just really want to take a few seconds or a few moments and just kind of salute those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for this
Absolutely.
country, and we just want to kind of look down on their families because their loved ones made that ultimate sacrifice.
No doubt. Well said, Ken. Well said, my brother. The world of sports unites us. Let us take this unity into our everyday life. This is why they play the game.